inaugural magical Kenya Travel Expo was a true showcase of Kenya's diverse tourism treasures. Organized by the Kenya Tourist Board, the Expo is an innovative masterpiece. A first in the region, the event provided a rare opportunity for the local stakeholders to showcase their products and services on a one-on-one basis with the international trade from 23 countries across the globe. The Expo has thus begun the journey for countless business opportunities. The two-day Expo that ran from October 19th to 20th brought together 170 travel agents and trade media from Kenya's source markets worldwide. Held at the mast-stop Kenyatta International Conference Center, the Expo was officially opened by Kenya's Vice President, Kalonzo Musyoka. What better way to represent Kenya, as Kalonzo is himself a one-time Minister of Tourism. Kalonzo reiterated the government's commitment to encouraging sustainable growth in the sector.
The government has in the past few years invested heavily in infrastructural projects that have a direct bearing on the growth of the tourism sector. We have, for instance, invested in the expansion and modernization of our airports as well as our roads. And we cannot wait to see this happen. The other day I was told that if we are not careful, Kigali in Rwanda will probably be the first capital in Africa, I think, to receive, maybe I don't know whether they received this in South Africa yet, but an Airbus A380. As you know, you have to board it from 2 levels, and we do not have that capability yet. We need to be able to move with speed. We are taking this challenge seriously. Jomo Kenyatta International Airport is undergoing serious expansion.
So far, the government has invested heavily in infrastructure, especially in the expansion of airports, roads, and the rail network. Day one was a trade meeting day. International operators were able to familiarize themselves with a huge variety of tourist products that Kenya has to offer. The interaction enabled local operators to better market Kenya. The 58 exhibitors outdid themselves, literally bringing different pieces of Kenya together.
We've managed to sensitize the public about what we do and the kind of benefits that they acquire from paying levy. After getting that levy, we make sure that we pay part of it to the Kenya Tourist Board to market the country as a tourist destination. Part of the money also goes to Kenya Utalii College to train students in the tourism industry. We have an upcoming Gala Utalii College. Part of the money that remains is used to come up with the curriculums that are used for training students in the tourism industry.
Visitors sample the rich, delectable, mouth-watering menu of Kenyan delights. They had a feel of Kenya's culture thanks to the exhilarating performance by the Safari Kids. They also sampled the world's #1 tea, courtesy of the Kenya tea packers or Ketepa. In the evening, visitors got a chance to catch a fabulous bird's eye view of Nairobi during a cocktail on top of KICC, an exhilarating atmosphere indeed in the beautiful city in the sun. This was just the beginning of their unforgettable, magical experience in Kenya. Day 2 was Consumer Day, which gives consumers a chance to see what the world's travel industry has to offer. It was basically that much-needed, long-awaited forum for consumers to grab amazing offers from the trade. Exhibitors were at hand to give the public necessary information on Kenya's expanding tourism circuit. Indeed, the emerging domestic market has become an important contributor to Kenya's tourism industry, and the best ambassador, the Kenyans themselves. Most important is the fact that domestic tourism is resilient to shocks in the market. From the reactions of international travel guides, the expo captured and created emerging markets.
You have game drives which we generally not found in any other part of the world, so one feels so much excited to be in the jungle, and it's like experience out of the world. And on the whole day when you get tired, you have beautiful lodges to relax on, and food is no problem from Indians. You cater all type of food for Indians, so Indians love to do this type of game drives and explore the beach part like Mombasa and Dani area of the Kenya.
Kenya has developed a lot in terms of tourism, in terms of promoting and branding its gifts, its blessings. So Ethiopia is following, I can say, honestly speaking. We have a lot to do in terms of expanding and developing tourism. So we have a lot to learn from this event, and I see all working together for the same objective: the hotel, the airline, and the travel agents and tour operators and the resorts. And I see some regional councils promoting and branding, like I have the Mara, which we are planning to travel tomorrow.
Increasingly, Kenya is receiving tourists from Eastern Europe, China, Japan, Canada, India and America. Interestingly, the country is also receiving visitors from Nigeria, Chad, Ethiopia and the Gulf countries. The new breed of tourists not only travels for leisure, but are also keen on doing business. They are a huge boost to the already fledgling conference tourism. It is therefore paramount that they become repeat visitors and encourage their friends and clients to visit Kenya. According to Tourism Minister Najib Balala, the travel fair could not have come at a better time. Balala, who recently was elected as the chair of the Executive Council of the United Nations Tourism Organization in Jeonju, South Korea, pointed out that the tourism sector had recorded a remarkable performance for the last half year.
2011 is the year of Kenya for tourism. It has been a record year. We estimate to gain up to 20% of what we projected in the year 2010. We estimate to have 1.7 to 1.8 million arrivals into Kenya. 1.3, 1.4 from our international airports, Mombasa and Nairobi.
The expo successfully brought together Kenyan and international trade at a networking forum that was cost-effective. International operators were impressed by the array of services available, from our world-class hotels to safe air travel to readily available banking and medical services. Kenya is a one-stop shop. It brought wide and positive publicity for Kenya as a tourist destination. Most important, it effectively positioned Kenya as a safe tourist destination. The public turned up in huge numbers and could not resist the amazing, tantalizing offers. Exhibitors were at hand to give them information and offer them various affordable packages. Members of the public were simply blown away by what Kenya has to offer.
Actually, I've learned there's new properties that are coming up. The new tour operators. Yeah, so it's a good work.
It has been good and great because I've learned a lot about the safaris and about the cabin crew. It's good, yeah. But I've learned after studies I can come for attachments. They have given me like the business cards, I can call them. Yeah.
We are very pleased because we have received a lot of guests, especially at the Mara. We have received so many of them, and they have promised, like, because they are tour agents, so they have promised that probably they will come at the end of the year.
The magical Kenya Travel Expo was an enchanting cocktail of the sights, smells and sounds of Kenya. The Kenya Tourist Board has surely created a huge buzz in the industry. This is only the beginning of many expos to come, and indeed, the next expo promises to be bigger in size and better. All this, however, would not have been possible without the support of sponsors.
We hope to achieve two things, or three things basically. One is that the international trade that have come, and remember they are representing about 23 different countries spread from all continents. They have also come with their local media from their respective countries. So we expect that when they go back to their countries, they'll write positive stories about Kenya, positive stories about tourism in this country. We also expect that because they are meeting today on a trade day with our local trade, they will also be able to establish business links, and as a result of that, we expect that there's going to be a continuous flow of business into this country. Thirdly, and also very important, is that tomorrow is a Consumers' Day, and this is going to be free entrance for all Kenyans from all corners of this country. And obviously, when they come, we expect them to get some amazing offers so that they can proceed to do their holiday and book for their holidays in their festive season.
The reason we have you here is for you to enjoy the tranquility, the peace of Kenya, as we, people that live here and love it, know what it's about. I mean, the media can go to town and paint all kinds of pictures about Kenya, but I hope over the next couple of days, you will see the true beauty of our really wonderful country.
The Kenya Tourist Board and Kenya Airways played a highly invaluable role towards the success of the expo. And in their usual fashion, they had the most breathtaking stands. The icing on the cake was the 5-day familiarization trip for the international trade. The world get to discover, experience and connect with Kenya. From the Rift Valley to the coast and on to the savannah, Kenya is a traveler's delight. Karibu to magical Kenya.
This is the first time we're holding this kind of event, Your Excellency, and we have confirmed as of to date about 170 members of the travel trade who have come to be with us today. When we talk of the travel trade, these are the tour operators, the travel agencies, together with the media, representing about 23 different countries. And we're very glad about them having come to this exhibition. Locally, we also have about 58 exhibitors who are going to be showcasing Kenya as a tourist destination. And in terms of our strategy, this is all geared towards having the international trade come in to mingle and mix with our local trade so that we can showcase Kenya from a tourism perspective, and bearing in mind that the new people who have come have not been selling Kenya before, and they've also not been, perhaps many of them, not been to this country before. We are delighted to say that we have partnered for this event with Kenya Airways being our title sponsor. We are also quite happy that we've received a lot of support from other members of the trade, like KCB, also people like CTDLT, and our state corporations like Bomas of Kenya, KTDC, Utali, to name but a few. For us, Your Excellency, we are very glad about this event, and I'll not take much time other than to call upon our chairman, who will then invite the minister. The event is running for 2 days, today being a trade day. Trade day meaning that it's only open to the members of the trade to interact with our local trade. And then tomorrow will be a consumers day that will be open to all Kenyans from all corners of this country to come in. The entrance will be free so that we can also see and get perhaps amazing offers that are on board. With those few remarks, it's my pleasure now to invite our chairman, Mr. Kitili Mbadi, who will then call on the minister. Thank you very much.
I'd like to thank all our visitors for coming to visit with us. And as we say in Kenya, karibuni sana. I would first like to thank the Minister for nominating me and His Excellency for appointing me as the chairman of the Kenya Tourism Board. I'm brand new. In fact, I just chaired my first meeting of the Kenya Tourism Board yesterday. I can say, Mr. Vice President, that it is an exciting opportunity for me to partner with both the local and the international participants in the travel industry to actually upgrade tourism in Kenya. And I'm very excited, and I feel a lot of excitement after touring the stands today, and I'm looking forward to putting my best foot forward to help with my team to elevate the work that has already been started by the Minister and my predecessors. On that note, I will now call on the Minister for Tourism, Mheshimiwa Najib Balala.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Kenya, the Chairman of the Kenya Tourism Board, distinguished delegates who have come from overseas, the tour operators and the hoteliers of the Kenyan industry, tourism industry, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a great pleasure to be here this morning and to witness a historical event of the magical Kenya Travel Expo. This is an expo, Your Excellency, that we hope and we aspire that one day it will turn to be a regional expo that includes Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, Uganda. So it's a regional expo. I know, Your Excellency, once upon a time you were the Minister for Tourism, so you understand what I mean by expo. You have attended the tourism fair overseas, you have known what we are talking about when it comes to marketing and when it comes to all aspects of making sure we are attracting tourists to our country. Your Excellency, 2011 is the year of Kenya for tourism. It has been a record year. We estimate to gain up to 20% of what we projected in the year 2010. We estimate to have 1.7 to 1.8 million arrivals into Kenya. 1.3, 1.4 from our international airports, Mombasa and Nairobi. Your Excellency, this is a good year for Kenya. A few things that we are putting right in terms of infrastructure. The roads. The government has made all efforts to make sure that all roads are taken care and improved. A few of them, like the Masai Mara and the Amboseli, I believe and I know, being in government, that those are being looked into seriously. The Dongo-Kundu bypass to Likoni and the South Coast, also confirmation that by next year, construction will start. So it has been enabling that this infrastructure to be able to improve tourism. Your Excellency, I believe without the investment of marketing, we will not be able to sell our product internationally. Marketing, for us, we have divided into two. One is domestic tourism. We believe the domestic market and the segment is resilient to any shocks and external shocks that we can witness nowadays. We believe by 2015, we should have 50-50 of our tourist numbers to be both international, 50%, and local tourism, 50%. I believe strongly that this can be achieved. I believe the new market that is available to us is the emerging markets. The new markets we have opened is the Eastern Europe, we've opened Russia, we've opened India, China, Japan, Australia, the Middle East, Canada, and America. And the most important one that we have ignored for a long time is the African continent. So we believe if we put our strategies in place strongly, we can be able to bring the clientele that we want for this country. Here we have the travel industry from overseas, the travel partners we have had from tour operators to the media, international, who are here. There are over 170 of them who have come to see Kenya. Unfortunately, maybe the timing, and we have seen what is happening to our neighbors, but that would not say that Kenya is not safe. Kenya is a very safe destination. I want to assure the tourism industry that Kenya is safe and Lamu is safe. We are going to go to Lamu end of November. The theme we have is Lamu is back in business. We have put all the security measures in Lamu. We have put all the necessary action to make sure that Lamu is safe, and it is safe. I'm scheduled to be there next week to make sure that everything is in order and we'll be able to market it again. The Lamu Cultural Festival is going to be on the 25th of November, and we are going in a big way to make sure we market Lamu, and we want you to see Lamu. I know quite a number of you maybe have been to Lamu, and you know what Lamu, when I talk about Lamu, what it is all about. So Lamu is a great destination, and it is not unsafe. The rest of Kenya is safe. I recently been to Masai Mara, and I've seen the migration and the wildlife there is spectacular. So definitely, we have a product that we can sell, we have a product that we can be proud of, and we want to assure you that we are seriously investing into marketing our product. We'll work with you, the international delegates who are here, to see how best we can position Kenya as a preferred tourist destination. And finally, in terms of security, the government is in control on all the aspects. Be assured, the country is safe, we are alert, everything is in order. And you can see that we are a safe destination. So my delegates and the tourism industry, let's all pull together and make sure that this unique destination gets the deserved recognition, both locally and international. So with those remarks, Your Excellency, it is indeed my great pleasure to invite you to speak to us on this Travel Expo 2011, and it is a pleasure to invite His Excellency the Vice President of the Republic of Kenya.
Thank you to the safari cats. I think we need to give them what is truly due to them. His Excellency the President would have done this event himself, but he's actually doing another very important event on Tomboya Street, unveiling the statue of one of luminaries, one of very serious nationalists who, among other things, is famed for having come up with, as Minister for Planning, with the famous session of paper number 10 of 1965. A Kenyan who was mercilessly killed for no reason. We've come a long way. Therefore, we are honoring today the late Tom Joseph Mboya, and His Excellency the President will be, as part of commemorating this year's Heroes Day, is actually opening a statue. Commemorating that statue, not opening it. So if some amongst you be interested in within the next 1 hour or so, the President will be somewhere in the Nairobi streets. And I think it would be very nice for us to join with him. That's why I couldn't make this event, and I was asked to come then and be able to deliver this address, which I want to do. And I want to begin by saying of the entire array of sectors that drive our economy, tourism, by far, I'm persuaded, holds the greatest untapped potential. In my lifetime, as you can well imagine, I have had the privilege of seeing quite a bit of the outside world, interacting with a wide potpourri of world cultures and savoring tens of climatic conditions across the continents. I can unequivocally attest to the fact that Kenya is uniquely blessed with a bit of the best of everything. Indeed, everything that tourism thrives on elsewhere in the world is here. It should therefore not surprise anyone that the first human habitat to ever live on Earth, according to archaeologists, lived right here. Consequently, it is always my pleasure to be involved in initiatives that target the expansion of the boundaries of our tourism. I'm particularly honored to launch this event that I consider to be one of the most ingenious milestones aimed at marketing the marvelous attractions, particularly natural, that Kenya is endowed with. And therefore, Minister Najib Balala and the team at the ministry, congratulations. The Magical Kenya Expo, as the initiative is aptly dubbed, is a bold and laudable step towards unlocking the great potential tourism portends for our economy. Before I proceed, allow me to quickly share with you a few facts about a country called Spain. And I'm not the advocate for Spain, neither is it my intention to sound negative about Spain. I know that The Spanish economy is at the moment struggling as much as that of, not at the same level of Greece, but between Italy and Spain, the world is watching. But when it comes to tourism, Spain is an example for us to emulate, if only as a reference to those of us charged with expanding the frontiers of tourism. Spain is roughly 505,000 square kilometers, compared to Kenya slightly over 580,000 square kilometers. Not very, not really, slightly less than we are. But when it comes to population, Kenya's population stands at approximately 40 million, while that of Spain is estimated at 45 million. Yet perhaps that is the closest the semblance between Kenya and Spain goes. For in terms of tourism, Spanish fortunes are as far as the east is from the west when compared to Kenya. This is, however, in spite of the fact that there's a world of wealth of tourist attractions in Kenya that Spain can only dream about. I heard Minister Najib say he was privileged to have witnessed this year's edition of the great crossing over of the wildebeest from Serengeti to Kenya, which is to the Masai Mara, which has become, rightly so, a world attraction. Indeed, is it not the eighth wonder? We sell it as such. Unfortunately, most of these attractions remain unexplored, untold, or indeed undersold. In spite of having no more than beaches that offer summer bliss and a rich menu of cultural tourism, Spain, according to the United Nations World Tourism Organization, no wonder I think they decided to host it in Madrid. 2010 report, according to that report on the International Tourism Receipts Index 2009, that was Spain. Spain ranked second to the United States at $53 billion US, compared to $93.2 billion US for the same period with regard to the United States. And during the same year, our country here earned roughly about $62.5 million by today's exchange rate, according to the Kenyan Bureau of Statistics. It is particularly gratifying to note that our tourism sector is recognized as one of the key pillars that will spur our economy towards Kenya's long-term blueprint, the Vision 2030. In the same breath, I must hasten to record my gratitude that the tourism sector has fully recovered from the slowdown it was thrust into in early 2008. Of course, that time we all know we had the post-election violence. Ladies and gentlemen, I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that this event will showcase Kenya's diversity of touristic treasures, whether hidden, known, or indeed unsung. It is noteworthy that this expo, indeed the first of its kind in the country, brings together over 150 travel trade partners from at least some 23 countries. And I saw one from India, who is very adequately dressed as a Kenyan. You cannot say, you look at him standing very, very prominent in a Kenyan hat. I hope we can get out of this Indian population as they do, is it Nollywood? No, Bollywood. As they do Bollywood and they want to go to Hollywood, between Bollywood and Hollywood there's Kenya. And I think I've always told them they should come here and see what we have to offer. This, by all means, is an international marketplace where local tourists trade and the public have an opportunity to interact with our tourism trade partners on a one-to-one basis. This event is being held at a time when our tourism sector is experiencing remarkable upward growth. Last year, as you will recall, was our best year in terms of tourist arrivals, with air and sea arrivals closing at 1.1 million and translating to some 73.7 billion Kenya shillings, 73.7 billion US, a billion shillings, which is about 73.7 million Kenya shillings. I'm looking at the 100 shilling exchange rate, which I don't like at all. And I'm sure it's going to have to come down. I'm pleased to note that the performance of the tourist sector in the first half of 2011 indicates a 13.6% growth, with 549,083 tourist arrivals, compared to the same year 2010, which stood at 483,468 in the same period. I'm reliably informed that this remarkable performance is partially attributed to aggressive marketing in both our traditional markets as well as our emerging markets. No doubt, the development of new improved facilities, especially in the past 2 years, has contributed to the growth of this important sector. We're already re-engineering our key tourist products in a bid to establish niche market tourism products and attractions. The aim is to make Kenya a unique tourist destination, offering such specialty tourist menus in sports, in culture, in conferencing, and water sport, among other attractions. In the past few years, His Excellency President Mwai Kibaki, the President of the Republic of Kenya, has directed the relevant government agencies to pursue expansion strategies for tourism that look beyond the confines of our traditional markets, namely Europe and the United States of America. It is worthwhile to note that as a result, our net in tourism has been cast wider to include Asian subcontinent, South America, Eastern Europe, the Far East, Russia, and the African continent. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenya is indeed a wonderful country. I do not need to labor that point. I'm sure we all appreciate. We are endowed with some of the most magical touristic attractions, experiences, and assets that one can ever dream of. So far, the sector's contribution to the gross domestic product, or GDP, has oscillated between 12 and 17%. It is possible to move that average to as much as 50%, but only if we are ready to invest in serious marketing and add value to the existing area of dormant touristic attractions. This is a time, ladies and gentlemen, to expand into business tourism, sports tourism, cultural tourism, and in our case, of course, sporting tourism. And I also want here to single out conference tourism. It was an anticipated one, and I know Minister Najib has been hoping that we would end up here with a huge conference facility to go hand in hand with the Kenyatta International Conference Center. Don't give up. I think Cabinet did approve that move, and I hope in the years ahead we'll be able to achieve that very realistic dream. To ensure this is indeed possible, the government has in the past few years invested heavily in infrastructural projects that have a direct bearing on the growth of the tourism sector. We have, for instance, invested in the expansion and modernization of our airports as well as our roads, and we cannot wait to see this happen. The other day I was told that if we are not careful, Kigali in Rwanda will probably be the first capital in Africa, I think, to receive, maybe I don't know whether they received this in South Africa yet, but an Airbus A380. As you know, you have to board it from 2 levels, and we do not have that capability yet. We need to be able to move with speed. We are taking this challenge seriously. Jomo Kenyatta International Airport is undergoing serious expansion, even in terms of build, operate, and transfer. The other day I went to Delhi, and I was told the new international airport in Delhi was put up in record time on the basis of build, operate, and transfer. We cannot wait. This is the time to move ahead. Other programs designed to boost tourism include the proposed Isiolo Tourist Resort City, located along the proposed Lamu-Isiolo Northern Corridor, and a Technopolis city in Konza that will be connected to Nairobi and the airport through a fast mass transit train system. Allow me to brag, that is all in my home province of Eastern Province, but I think Isiolo is becoming a county. Konza is not very far from here. Ladies and gentlemen, I do note with satisfaction that a new Tourism Act, and again here I want to congratulate Minister Najib because I know how much he fought to get this law in place. The Tourism Act 2010 was signed into law only recently. Itself a provision that to ensure the sustainable growth of a well-regulated tourism sector. Investors in this sector can now be sure that the investments are in the safest hands. As I conclude my remarks, I must urge those visiting Kenya for the first time to make sure that you sample what our country has to offer and take back home good news of what we have on offer for would-be tourists in your countries. And you know, the saying is, and I believe this to be true, once you set your foot in Kenya for the first time, for the rest of your time you must keep on returning. So you'll be most welcome. I want here to be very blunt and thank the Kenyan media, because at a time like this, any misreporting can negatively affect the tourism sector. Therefore, if I can single out the headline in the Nation today, very positive, because it says Kenya and Somalia are talking together. That headline itself is so positive that, because if it wasn't that way, people might confuse the situation which is ongoing. The mopping up exercise can be confused with the war situation between Kenya and Somalia. I want to say for the record very clearly, Kenya is not at war with Somalia. If anything, we want stability in Somalia. We are working closely within the Horn of Africa framework to make sure that we have a stable neighborhood. What, of course, we are saying as a government, it is our responsibility to guarantee security for the Kenyan people as well as all our visitors. And we want the world to understand that as a very important matter. It doesn't look good when a French lady in a wheelchair is whisked away into some hideout, and then the international media picks that to be the lead news item. Or indeed a British lady gets her husband killed and she's herself also kidnapped by the same group of killers. We cannot as a government take that for granted. And therefore and I'm happy that Kenyans have stood together at this critical time to ensure that security for this country is given #1 priority. Therefore, without saying it, Homeland security is also important. We want Kenyans to appreciate that, and all our vital installations will be protected, all our strategic installations. So don't take seriously anybody trying to issue threats. That is merely aimed at scaring away our visitors. This country is safe. This country remains safe forever. The only thing we must do is do the right thing. And here, later on, the Prime Minister, on behalf of the government, will be issuing a statement in Parliament this afternoon to clarify this position. Therefore, I want to encourage our tourism to know that this is going, in fact, what you're doing is to act in the best interest of the tourism sector. Finally, allow me to congratulate Minister for Tourism, the Honorable Najib Balala, for his election as the United Nations World Tourism Organization Chair. That is very important. It makes us very proud. And during the just concluded General Assembly in the Republic of South Korea, the Honorable Balala, this appointment, this election, makes all of us very proud. Because if we had a Mazualala Minister for Tourism, he would not be given that responsibility. Therefore, you make us truly proud. Similarly, I want to congratulate Kitili. I think you made the right choice in making sure that he's the chairman of the Kenya Tourism Board. Thank you, and may God bless you. You can see he's adding his blessings. Thank you.
Have game drives which we generally not found in any other part of the world, so one feels so much excited to be in the jungle, and it's like experience out of the world. And on the whole day when you get tired, you have beautiful lodges to relax on, and food is no problem from Indians. You cater all type of food for Indians, so Indians love to do this type of game drives and explore the beach part like Mombasa and Dani area of the Kenya.
What do you sell most about Kenya?
Earlier we were selling like Masai Mara, Nairobi, along with the Mount Kenya Safari Club, and this type of itineraries we were doing. And but I have seen now new products and looking forward to promote these as well, east as well as mixing west with Kenya. And of course Lamu is a unfortunate scene which give negativity all over the world. So Vice President rightly said they are looking into that, and it will not be like that in the future. So I'm seeing good numbers from around all over the world, and you must be in the #1 position sooner or later.
My name is Gladys Wagikoyo. I work for Rusinga Island Lodge. It's in Western Kenya, Lake Victoria. Okay, and we have 8 cottages, which is at the Lake Victoria, and we have activities. Our main activities is fishing, water sports. You can also go visit the Luo fishing village. Yeah, and you can also have dinner at the jetty.
This event is something great we can learn a lot from. You know, Kenya has developed a lot in terms of tourism, in terms of promoting and branding its gifts, its blessings. So Ethiopia is following, I can say, honestly speaking. We have a lot to do in terms of expanding and developing tourism. So we have a lot to learn from this event, and I see all working together for the same objective: the hotels, the airline, and the travel agents and tour operators and the resorts. And I see some regional councils promoting and branding, like I have the Mara, which we are planning to travel tomorrow. So I wish I could say a lot, but I really don't want to put you into false impression now. It's my second day. So
Infrastructure?
Infrastructure. I am very happy the first time I landed in the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport that is being expanded, and still it's in a good shape, in good condition. Well, it's in much better than other African airports. So this is quite exemplary for others. I have a lot to share when I go back home. What else can be more than this?
Oh, please, thank you.
Jambo Kenya. My name is Saidi Bakari. I'm with a group of 5 people from Tanzania. We are attending the Kenya Travel Expo. It's for the first time because it's starting in Kenya. So we are happy to be here, interact with different hotel groups, tour operators, and up to now we are learning new products.
How has
There are
it
so
been
many.
so far?
Yeah.
How has it been so far in Kenya?
So far it's been we had a slow start, and but now it's heating up. Many people are coming, and we get to see so many products that we didn't have an idea before, and this will help us to create a regional integration in terms of marketing of the East Africa destination. So we think this trip here is valuable in terms of selling Kenya, but also in terms of selling Tanzania as a group for East Africa as a destination. In Tanzania we have national parks. There are national parks in Kenya as well, but it's just the small thing that are accompanied together with all the national park, with all the infrastructure that we have in these 2 countries. It's just the small thing that we include. When we are talking about the nature conservation, when we're talking about involving the local community in tourism, when we're talking about involving all the other stakeholders, I think we are moving somewhere. We are moving forward. What has touched me about Kenya is the hospitality, mostly the hospitality of the people in the industry, because I think Kenya has started tourism way before than Tanzania opened up. It's good for Tanzania because people didn't know about it. Now we have a chance of letting people explore all these destinations within the country, because it also gives us an opportunity to sell other sub-destinations of Kenya. So we're not only selling Tanzania, but people come to Tanzania, they can combine and do Kenya as well. So I think this is the thing that will give us a boost in the near future. So I am telling all the Tanzanian business people, especially in the tourism industry, to expand, because the market is big. You cannot just focus on one destination in order to diversify and get more business. It's time to expand, and we need to expand not only Kenya but also Uganda and Rwanda, because all these places combined together, you can have something better for the country and for the companies.
My name is Mark Miner. I work with goingsafari.com, which is owned by Kenya Airways and operated by Travelport Kenya. Goingsafari.com is an all-in-one booking engine for the whole travel industry, for all travel products in Kenya and beyond. It runs on the Galileo GDS. That means you can book any airline from anywhere in the world to anywhere in the world. It also runs on a local distribution system, which means it has all Kenyan hotels, all Kenyan local airlines like Air Kenya and Mombasa Safari, and all and travel insurance. You can actually book travel insurance from Kenya to anywhere in the world and return, inbound and outbound travel insurance. You can also access Zanzibar hotels and resorts in Madagascar, and more. So the reason for this was so that travel agents can save on operation costs of booking outbound travel. Now it's just a matter of logging in, clicking, and making a booking to any hotel, any travel airline, or even doing dynamic packages. You can actually log in and do dynamic packages for yourself. And that is goingsafari.com in a nutshell. Our products are mainly flights, local and international flights, hotels, local and regional hotels, travel insurance companies for inbound and outbound travel insurance, and car hire companies. So you can book safari vans, town car hire, long distance car hire, and the like.
My name is Maridin Degwa, Managing Director of the Kenya Tourist Board. And Kenya Tourist Board, I would say, is a state corporation under the Ministry of Tourism.
Why are Kenya Tourism Expo?
The reason that we decided to do this expo is that together with the stakeholders, we wanted to bring travel trade, that means tour operators and travel agencies who have not basically been selling Kenya in the past, and we wanted them to come to the country, sample the country, and also mingle and mix with our local travel trade so that we can raise the profile of tourism in this country. When we look at the growth in terms of the last financial year and also in terms of the first half of this year, the main growth driver has been the emerging markets. And in terms of emerging markets, we're talking about some Asian countries like India, China. We're also talking about the rest of Africa, neighboring countries like Uganda, which have done very, very well, and also the Eastern European countries. We hope to achieve two things, or three things basically. One is that the international trade that have come, and remember they're representing about 23 different countries spread from all continents. They have also come with their local media, media from their respective countries. So we expect that when they go back to their countries, they'll write positive stories about Kenya, positive stories about tourism in this country. We also expect that because they are meeting today on a trade day with our local trade, they will also be able to establish business links, and as a result of that, we expect that there's going to be a continuous flow of business into this country. Thirdly, and also very important, is that tomorrow is a Consumers' Day, and this is going to be free entrance for all Kenyans from all corners of this country. And obviously, when they come, we expect them to get some amazing offers so that they can proceed to do their holiday and book for their holidays in their festive season. We have been promoting basically new products like adventure tourism. We've also been talking about cultural tourism and sports tourism. And I'm sure today you must have seen the safari cards depicting the Kenyan culture, or at least parts of Kenyan culture. Way forward is that we want Kenyans to travel. We want Kenyans to aggressively think about their country from a tourism perspective, so that when it comes to tourism, we'd want to have a situation whereby the Kenyan domestic tourism is actually providing us with a platform for us to grow tourism in line with the ideas of Vision 2030.
Today we're having this wonderful, wonderful international expo, which is the very first one that we have put together as KTB. And this simply shows you that tourism is actually succeeding. Yeah, the trends are very, very positive. 2010 was a beautiful year. 1,095,000 tourists, which was a 15% increase over the year before, and this year we're actually looking at an even bigger increase. In tourism, actually, your target is the travel trade and the consumers at the same time. The travel trade, as in the case of today, because what we need is the overseas travel agents and tour operators to make contact with our local Kenyan tour operators and hoteliers, because the overseas travel agents are then going to be able to sell Kenya better, but they will make contact with our tour operators, through whom then they can be able to have their clients see the product. So it's a focal point for connecting the two, yeah, from the supply and the demand side. Now the consumer, if we're talking about the overseas consumer, it is the overseas travel agents and tour operators that we have brought here who are going to reach those consumers, including the media that have come with them. But tomorrow is a different day, which is specifically for Kenyan consumers to come and meet with our Kenyan hoteliers and tour operators and be able to buy deals directly.
Ashnil Hotels specializes in safari circuits. We have 3 properties in Kenya, one in Savo East National Park, which covers an area of 11,000 square kilometers, a beautiful theater of the wild. The second property is the Masai Mara, the Ashnil Mara Camp, which has 44 luxury deluxe rooms, tents, and which gives us an opportunity to provide customer delights in areas that are regarded as rough terrain, rough roads, dusty areas. We give comfort to people who've traveled, and we give them an experience that will say them, yes, it's worth coming back to Kenya. The third property is in Buffalo Springs National Reserve, Ashnil Samburu Camp, with 30 beautiful tents along the Ewaso Nyiro River. One very unique thing about our properties is that we center very much on areas that have water, because we have a passion for conservation of that very rare commodity. And especially in Savo, we are located in Aruba, next to Aruba Dam, which is a congregating point of the animals in Savo. And in the Masai Mara, we have the Mara River, and in northern Kenya, we have the Ewaso Nyiro River. Those are the three properties that we have in Kenya. We have fully prepared ourselves to embrace the emerging markets. We have put in place mechanisms to advertise our properties abroad, and we have now a new program that is going to target the African market, where in most cases people were targeting the European and the Western countries. But now we've put in a program that is going to target the African countries, and we have embarked on aggressive marketing on that area. The Rwandan market, yes, we now have Rwandan Air coming all the way to Mombasa, which is a market that we have tapped, and we're already seeing a bit of progress. We're already seeing some bed nights coming in from the Rwandan area. We have generally embraced the concept of business, and we want to trade with everybody. That is what we are doing at the moment. Please come right in. Right here.
I made a safari in Kenya, in Lake Nakuru, Lake Naivasha and Masai Mara. I was asked for my company to come here, and it's the first time that you do this, so it's a nice experience. We will advise, most is also the national parks, but a lot of people also want to know something about the culture, and that's also nice to see.
My job is very simple this evening. My job is extremely simple, and I simply want to honor, I want to recognize our sponsors who have made this evening doable, this evening possible, this wonderful evening possible with all our guests today. Our sponsors, beginning with all the tour operators and hoteliers who have given us their service to take our tourists, to take our guests around the country this coming week. I want to recognize other sponsors, beginning with the National Museums of Kenya. Where are you? Kenya Utalii College, where are you? Ketepa, the tea people, where are you? The Bomas of Kenya dancers, where are you? Masai Mara Narok, where are you? The Kenya Wildlife Service, Kenya Film Corporation, and then I come to the next tier of our sponsors, the Kenya Commercial Bank. The first time that we have been sponsored by a bank, and it's our very own National Commercial Bank. Then we have CTDLT, the Catering, Tourism, Development and Levy Trustee. Give them another hand. To say nothing of the Kenya Tourist Board, please do not clap for yourself yet, but we do have a title sponsor. Our title sponsor this evening is none other than Kenya Airways. Thank you, Kenya Airways, for coming through for us. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call upon Kenya Airways Nita Nagi to come and give us a few words before we proceed on with the program this evening. Thank you again, Kenya Airways. Makofi. Nita, welcome.
Thank you, Jennifer, and good evening, everyone. I want to say a very warm, hearty karibuni to all of you from everywhere. And I have to start with saying that I want to thank KTB for the privilege and the honor of giving us the opportunity of co-sponsoring this event. We're delighted to be doing so because most of the people that are here tonight are actually people from areas that we fly to. So it's in our interest to partner with KTB and promote tourism into Kenya. Tourism is our mainstay. Tourism is here to stay regardless of what goes on around us. The reason we have you here is for you to enjoy the tranquility, the peace of Kenya as we, people that live here and love it, know what it's about. I mean, the media can go to town and paint all kinds of pictures about Kenya, but I hope over the next couple of days you will see the true beauty of our really wonderful country and realize the beauty that, I mean, the Masai Mara actually does deserve to be called a wonder of the world. So I'm not going to bore you with a long speech. I welcome you again, and I really hope you have a really great time. And again, KTB, thank you very much for allowing us to sponsor you. Thank you.
I hope you're enjoying the party. It's our first time to be on this rotating area. It was dead 20 years ago. Today we are launching it for the first time for you guys. We hope very soon we'll have a restaurant here, beautiful restaurants, and so you can see Nairobi by night, but also have the cuisine that we have from Kenya. Today I want to thank all of you for coming. You have heard all the speeches in the morning. I don't need to say much, but I want to assure you, we have a beautiful product called Kenya. Kenya's tourism product, combination of beach and safari, culture, sports, and adventure. I believe you will sample that in the next couple of days, and also to confirm to you that Kenya is a safe destination. We have just discussed with the American ambassador who was here this evening, and on Sunday I will fly to Lamu with the American ambassador to confirm Lamu is safe. I know quite a number of you, in solidarity with Kenya, changed their plans from other areas to go to Lamu. That's a paradise. I want to inform you. It's a beautiful destination. We had a problem and we are taking action on that problem. I want also to assure you that we want to support you as our partners to make sure that you promote Kenya. And we are coming up with a revised marketing and promotional strategy for what has happened now to put the new Kenya on the map. So ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to take much of your time, but I appreciate all the sponsors, Kenya Airways being among them, the title sponsor, and the others, for making this a success story. We want to elevate this exhibition to a regional exhibition. We want our Ugandans and Tanzanians, Burundis and Rwandans to be part of this success. So when you come to buy Kenya, you come to buy the regions so that we can be able to expand our trade. The Kenyan delegation will be attending the World Travel Market, will be attending the Benelux areas to go and market Kenya, and IGTM in Antalya, Turkey, for golf tourism. So David Stockdale is here, and definitely among the sports tourism we are marketing, golf is key. And we are launching the brochure for golf tourism at the World Travel Market. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your evening, and I say asante sana. Thank you very much. I want to also formally launch this DVD for the Lamu Cultural Festival. We have 500 of them. You'll get a copy. We are going to have the festival on the 25th of November to 27th of November, and all of us will be in Lamu to support Lamu. Thank you very much.
All the fine words have already been said, and now our day has come to an end. Day one of the Magical Kenya Expo. And my role is very simple, and it's a great pleasure for me to bring in a vote of thanks for all those who have worked so hard to make this such a hugely successful event. And so I would like to start by thanking the Minister, the Honourable Minister, for the energy which he has put in to this evening. And in addition, on behalf of the Kenya Tourism Board, I would like to thank the private sector for all of the excellent support that they've shown on this rather historic and very special day number one. And also a very special thank you to all of our overseas visitors, the 170 who are here with us, the travel trade from overseas. Of course, the Kenya International Conference Center, who've made the facilities available and who actually opened up the restaurant for us for this special occasion tonight. A thank you to the media, and we hope that we get your full support and coverage. And last but perhaps not least, to the Kenya Cats who entertained us so well this morning. And finally, there are those who are not with us, but who worked very hard on the marketing board of KTB to put this together. And I know that they would have wished to be with you. And also, finally, a thank you to our sponsors, Kenya Airways and our sister corporations. Can we have a round of applause, please? And a final word, if I may, on behalf of the Kenya Tourism Board. Soon, most of our 170 overseas visitors will be going on safari. And there, I like to believe, when you are on safari, you will find what actually is the meaning of the brand Magical Kenya. Because you will find on safari that Kenya is wild. But you will also find that Kenya is beautiful. You may find parts of untamed Africa, but you will find that it is gorgeous. And I believe when you go home, you will have in your heart a very special place for Kenya, and that is the magic. And so finally, I hope that your safari experiences will be profitable for you and that they will be profitable for us. And in conclusion, I would just like to say, as we say in Swahili, you have a safe and happy voyage, safari and njema.
The expo has been a wonderful experience for the organization. We've managed to sensitize the public about what we do and the kind of benefits that they acquire from paying levy. After getting that levy, we make sure that we pay part of it to the Kenya Tourist Board to market the country as a tourist destination. Part of the money also goes to Kenya Travel College to train students in the tourism industry. We have an upcoming gala College. Part of the money that remains is used to come up with the curriculums that are used for training students in the tourism industry. We collect money from all hotels and restaurants who provide food, drinks, accommodation and other services, who make a maximum of like 8,000 per day or accumulative 250 per month. Whoever is making that kind of money is eligible to pay. This is the only tax that is collected by the industry and consumed by the industry. So it's a big benefit to the tourism industry as a whole. It doesn't go elsewhere else. It's unlike the other levies or taxes. This one is collected by the industry and consumed by the industry. It goes directly to the industry. The public is really eager to know a lot of information about what is this 2% training levy all about, and they're anxious to know what is it they benefit. The only thing that we've tried to assure them is that this money, this levy paid, once paid, benefits the whole country, not just an individual. Because once the country is marketed as a tourist destination, then the foreign income comes in. So all in all, everybody benefits at the end of the day.
Okay, my name is Esther Mombwa. The exhibition was very good. Actually, you should be doing this more often, especially for Kenyans. And so the rates I saw they were good for locals. Actually, I've learned there's new properties that are coming up. The new tour operators. Yeah. So it's a good work.
came for this expo, and we are very pleased because we have received a lot of guests, especially at the Mara. We have received so many of them, and they have promised, like, because they are tour agents, so they have promised that probably they will come at the end of the year.
My name is Jennifer, and it has been good and great because I've learned a lot about the safaris and about the cabin crew. It's good, yeah. I've learned after studies I can come for attachments. They have given me like the business cards, I can call them, yeah.